All right, good people. I just want to run through this real fast about Jesus, and for those that believe in him. As I said, man, I don't see nothing wrong with people and what they believe. I just don't believe in the story, the whole fairy tale of it, and things like that, and everything that's going on. Nothing major happened to me in life to make me not believe. I just read, and the more I read, the less that I believed. And then on top of that, man, when you do look around, you do see the struggles, you do see everything that's allowed to be going on in this world. I mean, like, it's hard to believe. I mean, like, very hard to believe because, come on now. Even when you read, you see that God talked to the people that he was with. God talked to them. He fought for them. He fought with them. He was there with them. He went to prophets and had the prophets go tell him this, go tell him that. I mean, even with Jesus, I mean, like, he talked to his disciples. He was there with them at that time. Then all of a sudden, they disappeared just off the fucking flat of the earth and everything. Not to speak to nobody, not to even deal with us anymore. And that's 2,050 years and counting. 2,050 years and counting. And people say, well, one day to us can be 1,000 days to God. But when you read that Bible, one day to them people was one day with God. Every day they traveled with God. Like they said, the pillar of the cloud never left them. God was with them the whole time. Now, all of a sudden, there's no God with us, no Jesus with us, or any of that kind of stuff. I mean, like, come on, think about that. I mean, there's nothing here for us but whatever you want to call faith, hope, and all that kind of stuff. But the one thing that we do have is intelligent design, dealing with consciousness and stuff like that, where you can grow mentally, physically, and all that kind of stuff on your own. You can do all this stuff on your. I mean, actually, like I said, in 2,050 years, everything that we've been doing on our own, based on intelligent design. Somebody come up with something. Somebody come up with a better way of that something. I mean, this ain't God and Jesus creating all this stuff. This is people's doing through, I mean, just through knowledge that we're learning from each other every day. And, it's within all of us to do good, bad, right, wrong, all that kind of stuff. It's within you. I mean, you can go from being the most humble person in the world to being the killer the next day, depending on what happens. Shit, if somebody come in your house and do something to your family, I mean, trust me, at that moment, if you snap, you're gonna do something to that person. I mean, so you can go from here to there, from 0 to 100 real fast. But let's get back to this whole Jesus thing. Obviously, Jesus was nothing more than a sacrifice. Nothing more. When I say nothing more than a sacrifice. That's if you believe in that. He was nothing more than a sacrifice, meaning he was a burnt offering. Just plain and simple, because that's what they gave for sin, burnt offerings. He was a sacrificial lamb, and they tell you that he was a sacrificial lamb, and so he was supposed to be taken to the altar and killed and stuff like that for our sins, or for forgiveness of our sins. But still, did nothing change when he died? Did not, I mean, like, not a thing. Not the day of, the day after, or anything. Nothing changed. And then offerings and stuff like that in the Old Testament was for the individuals. It wasn't for the people as a whole, unless they, was having a little old celebrations or whatever that you want to call it. They whatever, Passover stuff and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, it was like if a individual sinned, he went, gave an offering. It wasn't no one offering for everybody. That individual went and gave a goddamn offering. But this is what Jesus had to say. In this Matthew 5 and 17 and 18. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but fulfill. For surely I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. So, I mean, whoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But where is the kingdom of heaven? It tell you that the kingdom of heaven is within. And he told you also that it'll come and go without you even knowing. And I mean, like, all of this is said by Jesus. The kingdom of heaven is within. So you have to look in yourself. All this stuff is supposed to be, it's telling you. People say it's talking in this and that. It's talking in a parable, and it's telling you that it should be something that's within you. This is pretty much what you want to call a personal relationship. What you trying to whatever you do, meditate, whatever you trying to get one with yourself, the universe, and all that kind of stuff. There's no real heaven for you to go to and stuff like that, because how can the kingdom of heaven be within you and you go to it? When you go to the kingdom of heaven, that means you meditating, you getting spiritual within yourself. This ain't got nothing to do with every goddamn on body. And that's the thing, I mean, that you gotta understand. He said he spoke to the people in only parables. I mean, like I said, there is some basic some moral values to this book, man, and most of them is dealing with how you should be within yourself, how you should treat people and all that kind of stuff. That's the only good thing that you really can take from the book. Other than that, it's a fairy tale, it's a big old fable, and it's told in in exaggeration to make you believe this stuff, because who didn't cast out some demons? Who didn't walk on water? Who didn't split a sea open in the last 2,050 years? Nobody. And like I said, again, I'm gonna say, I understand people need Jesus. First of all, but like I said, Jesus, God, whoever you believe in, for the things that you cannot explain. And then another reason is, me personally, I just believe people have bad habits. People do this, people do that. And so, they give fault to the devil for those things. And then they give Jesus the praise when they come up out of it. But, 9 times out of 10, people lapse and go right back into those things or whatever. I mean, it's a good tool to use when you want to give credit to somebody that, give credit where credit is really not due. You know what I'm saying? Thank yourself and the people who supported you around you, helped you come up out of whatever it is that you was into. Because you're not going through it by yourself. Like, maybe those people are the same faith that you believe in. Some of them are not. I support my family, whatever they going through. If they need me, they call me, I go. And that's me not even believing in none of that stuff. I believe that, I should be there for my family. I believe with everything going on in this world, we should, if we came back to our families and we bonded together, we would have more, first of all, as a people. And then from there, it goes on to how you treat other people and different things like that. But, we got to get out of that mentality that, we sitting back, we waiting on the Jesus, while everybody else got everything. Black people, we still don't have nothing. We still the lowest on the income threshold and economics, everything. We are the lowest, and it's all because of how we treat each other. I mean, now take that to your Jesus, if God, whatever religion you believe in, and ask him why that is. And he'll, if he actually answered you back, he would tell you it was you and what you believing in. I mean, you no longer believing in the people. You believing in this imaginary being to come do this for you. But like it tell you, faith without works is nothing. But I tell people all day, work without faith is continuing to be. Because there's plenty of people that are atheists that don't believe in none of that stuff, the devil either, and they have more than a whole lot of us. How did they get it? I mean, come on, man. That's just something to think about, man. Like I said, Jesus was nothing more than a sacrifice. He didn't change anything from the old. He was supposed to fulfill it, but when you get to reading, first of all the world has an end, so he ain't fulfilled nothing. We still alive. The world's still going as it was. I mean, come on, man. All I'm saying is go back and read, man. I don't see nothing wrong with wanting to follow it or whatever because it has good moral and ethical values to it. But just know that as the world turns and people die off, that things aren't going to change. But the things that are changing is that the younger generations are starting to come up out of it. A lot of black people are coming out of the church. It's the truth. And the one thing I want everybody, or I feel like everybody should do, is keep an open mind, because one day your child gonna come to you and they're not gonna believe everything that you believe. How are you gonna handle that? How are you gonna handle that? Or can you handle it? Because I mean, like I said, I was once there with my family and stuff like that, but after I read and then stuff that's going on in the world, there was no way that I can continue on that same path, and I'm not. And so, like I said, just read for yourself, and until next time, holla at you good people.